What is up, guys? What is up? Wait, let me change this real quick. How's everyone doing today? Sorry again. I'm always late to this stream, so I do apologize. Damn, that the lights drive me nuts. All right, let me try to move this like this. So, how we guys doing today? Hope you guys had a good Saturday. Um, it was a hell of a what's up second win. What's up? What's up? How you guys doing? Again, it was a really good solid card um, today for the UFC. I mean, it was a good fresh start, especially for ABC for them being on ABC for the first time. So it was a really good card, solid fights, some really good fights, some surprising fights, some I would say some shockers as a couple people got knocked out, a couple people lost. The co-main event and main event um, kind of went the way I kind of pictured it would go. Um, Matt Brown, Carlos Condit. So again, we'll dive into that again. Like I say in all the like I say in all of my live shows, I mean the most important part is you guys. This is why I go live, is to communicate and talk to you guys. So the more active you're on the chat, the better it is. We have, I don't know, Prince. What's wrong, Prince? You didn't like the fight? Did you bet? Did anyone bet on anything? Well, let me try. I don't want this anymore. I want to switch, but I guess. So again, very good card. Like I said, if you guys didn't watch my live stream, what's up? Yep, the bloody bean Boston got beat down. He did, but you know what? It showed heart. He showed heart, and that's one thing about that I will probably talk about in the stream was that the UFC ends up doing this where they get a fighter, instead of building him up right away, they kind of just throw him in like the lion's den, and ends up usually not doing so good. I mean, look what happened. This light's bothering me. Look what happened with what's his name, who got KO'd, Buckley. I mean, look what happened with him. I mean, you put these guys in positions. It's not like boxing. Boxing is a little bit better. They kind of promote their fighters a little bit better, and they got kind of give them a chance to give them a couple fights. Not like the UFC. The UFC kind of just, you have one or two fights, and then you get thrown in the top of the mix, and then look what happens. You end up looking really bad. Fight. So like the Holloway and the Calvin fight. Again, it's not that Calvin is bad. He's a good fighter, but he's not that level of a fighter like Max Holloway is. And unfortunately, that fight should have never happened, just because I think they should have built him a little bit more. They should have built him a little bit more fighters before just diving in like that and fighting Max Holloway. As you can tell, Max Holloway is an elite fighter and completely different. And we have a couple people. He's saying it's huge heart. Calvin, yeah, he had I mean, he wasn't going to go down. He was a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter, but again, with just a little bit more experience and more fights under his belt, I think they kind of threw him in again, like I said, in the lion's den. Sarah said the Buckley knockout was, I mean, he got caught with the high kick. I mean, good for him. I mean, it was a good knockout, and the guy was a stud. um, talking about it's a two-man sport. But again, I don't think interviewing someone who's been knocked out is the best. I understand where he was going with it, but at the same time, he just got knocked out. We don't want to have another Daniel Cormier, you know, post fight talk. So, um, Italiano Pride tonight. I mean, yeah, man, he showed up. Buckley's chin is so overrated. Maybe I know it's not the first time he's been finished. So again, the hype train does the hype train stop right there, or again, like I'm saying with the UFC, they try to hype up. Um, they try to hype up a fighter, and then it ends up blowing up in their face because they don't give him enough, like boxing. They don't give him enough matches, and they kind of throw him. Not saying that Buckley was going somewhere. It was almost like what's his name, Johnny Walker. Same thing with him. They kind of overhyped him as well, and look what ended up happening. He ended up getting knocked out. Then he started losing, and then I mean, we barely talk about Johnny Walker, but before, Johnny Walker was the next big thing apparently in the UFC, and look what happened. So again, the way they promote these fighters and stuff, I feel like they need to kind of like slow it down and do it like boxing and have a couple of fights under their belt, not just two, or just not just like two or three, but several. Build up the character, build up the fighter, and then put them in. Again, I'm not saying that Calvin. Again, I'm going back to the Max Holloway fight with Calvin. It's not like Calvin's, destroyed. But again, he did get a beating, and then that shows that could put a lot of pressure on a fighter the next time he fights. Same thing with Buckley. He had a lot of pressure coming in because he had knockout of the night. Or knockout of the year. I mean, let me correct myself. So knockout of the year, and then you go in, and the expectations are higher just because you have that. Now everyone's looking. Eyes are on you. You have to perform because guess what? You had knockout of the night. I mean, knockout of the year. I keep fucking that up. Hulk Costa betted on Ponce and lost 75. Yeah, there was a couple people that are pretty sad about it. I know Pamela was very sad about his loss. I mean, he got clipped. I mean, again, this fight game, it's anyone's game, right? So you get a puncher's chance, and he landed it. He landed it perfectly. So, all right, Sarah wants to know do you think Khabib is coming back? I really doubt it. I think he'll eventually come back. Remember, money talks, bullshit walks, and if you throw enough, everyone has a price, right? And I feel like even with McGregor and stuff, everyone has their own price, and with the right amount of money, I think eventually he'll come back. Again, it has to be. Maybe he's looking for like the big super fight, which I don't know if he will get because I don't think GSP is coming back. That's probably something that he was looking forward to. But something on along the way of making a good amount of money to come back to fight. Because as of right now, I don't think he's too in the zone on fighting or coming back. I think he's doing. But then again, you have, a couple months go by. You're around the ring. I mean, he was in, Fight Island. Once you get around that environment, you start getting that itch to come back and fight. So I wouldn't put it past him to start coming. All right, let's see. With Max's performance tonight, does this prove how good Volk really is? You know what? To be honest with you, Max won that fight, man. He, in my opinion, I think he should have been champion. I think they that was one that they stole from Max. So to be honest with you, I think I saw someone on Twitter writing that um, just because Max Holloway won now, he should have gotten it. Now he's going to get an immediate rematch, and they think that he should have had a couple more fights. But I call bullshit on that because the way that fight went by, the way that fight went down and stuff. I mean, it wasn't like a blowout. It was very close. And again, like I said, I think Max Holloway earned that decision. I think he won the fight. So the fact that he had to fight Calvin, I mean, I still think Max Holloway is still the better fighter, and he should be. That his next fight should be for the title again because he just outclassed and showed who he was. I mean, it was a great performance again. His boxing was superb. His cardio, not in his boxing, his cardio was on point because that third and fourth round, he was throwing some nasty elbows, some uppercuts, punches to the body, punches to the head. He was changing levels. Beautiful. And he was still, it looked a little bit like my buddy when we were talking about it. It looked like a little bit like Nick Diaz, kind of that barrage of just exploding and just, punching and nonstop. He looked really, really good. Just again, I love the level change. He went from jab, jab. He did a hook, and then he would drop levels, and then bam, he would get to the body and stuff. Prince wants to know, do you think Kattar's corner should have thrown a towel in the third or fourth round? I agree he was on Shield, but Kattar should fight again, right? He was on his shield. You know what? Again, throwing a towel, it really depends on the fighter, and especially the like you're a fighter and you have that that understanding with your cornerman. Okay, your cornerman is not just anyone. They know you from head to toe, especially anyone who's ever fought and stuff like that. So they know you head to toe, and they know what's best for you, this and that. Yes, the third and fourth round he took, I think the fourth round is where he took the most punishment, but at the same time, he was still trying to throw, he was throwing haymakers back. I mean, he was against the fence, he was on the cage and stuff, but I mean, he was cracking Max Holloway with a couple of right hooks and stuff like that. So it's a yes and no. It depends. I guess it's in the moment, and it really depends on the cornerman. But yeah, he was hurt a couple times, but it wasn't to a point where it was horrendous, and it wasn't like he was getting dropped. He never got dropped. I mean, he got cracked a couple times, but at the same time, he was still defending himself, and he was still fighting. So I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think they should have thrown the towel. I think it was fine. They were still giving him a chance because he did. Again, he had a puncher's chance. And again, that guy's a warrior. He's like a Tony Ferguson. I mean, those guys aren't going to get knocked out. You're going to have to kill them to stop them from winning. So let's see. Do you think taking this much damage would affect his future fights? Of course. When you're in those type of battles, that really, really, really affects someone's physical as well as mentally. I mean, I was talking to my friend. You can't take too many of those fights. Those brawls and stuff. He can't take too many of those because again, it's not the knockout that will affect you long term, as in almost like a Spencer Fisher, right? Spencer Fisher right now, he's battling. I think he has some brain damage and stuff. And Spencer Fisher, if no one knows who Spencer Fisher is, he's an old school UFC fighter and would get in some nasty brawls. and they would go on. There would be decisions. You would have like 5 or 6 decisions, but at the same time, those decisions, I mean, his ass was getting beat. So again, a type of fight like this, yeah, it's very dangerous because this is the one that will affect you in the long run, especially for future fights and your longevity. So, um, yeah, taking this much damage, big time, would affect someone. It looks like he was relaxing so much better. He deserves a third fight for the belt. Absolutely. He looked very relaxed. He looked very comfortable taking the center, but they both looked pretty comfortable that I've noticed in the center of the octagon. They looked both loose. They were letting their hands go. It's just that Max was putting a lot more combinations together. I mean, like I said, he was going from head, and then he would change levels to body, and then body to top again, and so he had just the more combination, and there were punches in bunches. Calvin was just looking like he was trying to find his range, but at the same time, he would strike and he would throw like a jab or two and then stop. And Max Holloway was committing to his punches and throwing combinations and throwing knees and then leg kicks. I'm telling you that if you watch that fight again, it's something. I love watching techniques and stuff like that because I've boxed before, but that level change going from head to body is excellent. Max takes the third, no doubt, and hopefully he does. I mean, again, he should have never lost the belt. Calvin will be fine. Yeah, again, it's a learning lesson. What's up, Sarah? How's everything? Hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining. Do you think Conor should be fighting for the title since Boring Khabib has retired? Tracy, let me tell you something. The way it works, unfortunately, they're going to have I think it's going to happen. They're going to have Conor fight for the title because that's what they want. They want someone who's going to bring in the revenue and is going to bring in the most money. Do I agree that he needs a title fight? Absolutely not. I mean, I don't think he deserves it. Yeah, he's a big attraction, but other than that, but again, I'm not really a big fan of Conor. But I mean, it is what it is. Hey, Ron, what's up? What's happening, man? Thank you for joining the live stream. If you guys haven't joined the live stream, I do appreciate you guys. I do have some news for you guys. I have a soccer game in 9 minutes. I'll get it on and finish watching your video. That's all right, Ron, man. Enjoy it. Go have fun playing soccer, man. I appreciate you coming over here and hanging out. But I do have some big announcements for Cage Talk. I got another guest coming on. As you know, I dropped in for Houston Alexander. That will be posted this Thursday. But I got another. It's an OG, which I'm really, really excited about. I talked to him today. And let me get to some of your comments right now. Dana White's and others thought Calvin was going to win. He spars with no headgear. He was fighting back. Yeah, I mean, he was fighting back. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like he was just giving up, but I mean, he was getting cracked. Yes, because my prediction was Max was a 4th round TKO. You almost had it. I really thought they were gonna stop. I thought Herb Dean was gonna stop it in the 4th round. That's when that barrage, and he was just teeing off on him with the elbows and body shots. So I really thought it was really close to being stopped, I think, with Herb Dean. Max took damage. Yeah, he did. What are you going to do about the mouth guards getting stuck under the cage? What are you going to do about the mouth? I don't know. What's that mean? Explain to me. I don't know what the mouth guards. What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? Titans backs out of the room. Yeah, I got my whole garage is pretty I have this whole I got Santa Claus because I gotta put that away. But Let's see. All is well. I'm still beaming ear to ear from earlier. Did you already go over Dana's big announcements thoughts? No, explain to me what the thoughts were, because apparently Pamela told me too, and I didn't know what the hell it was. I guess I was eating shit on the live stream, and or maybe I missed it. Again, I started the live stream, guys. I'm sorry I was late because I was in traffic still. It sucked. I was coming back from work and I got stuck on traffic for about almost a half an hour. So it sucked. All right, let's see. Sean says, I hope. I'll tell Alex about that. Sean Porter says, man, I hope Dustin smokes him. I do too. Dustin's a different kind of animal, man. He's a beast. There's some that are mixed martial artists, like my friend was talking about, and then there's just some guys that are just like natural born fighters. Like the Diaz brothers are just natural born fighters. Yeah, they're mixed martial arts, but they love to fight. Max Holloway is that type of person as well. He just loves to fight. He's all. Dustin also is just a brawler, man. He can take so much punishment. So I think I'm hoping that he'll win. Let's see. Have a backup mouth guard. Yeah, twice now that happened. Kind of crazy. It gets stuck under there. Someone tell me about the mouth guards. Apparently, the mouth guards. What happened with the mouth guards? It got stuck under the cage or something. That I did not see, but let's see. Zabel says great fights tonight. Yes, they were great, man. They were really great. I believe the fight should have been stopped. Are you talking about the Max Holloway? I mean, it could have been. You're right. Let's see. Tracy says 7 days to the Connor fight. Let's see. The big announcement is that there is no announcement. I kind of had a feeling. All right, let's see what Sarah said. He basically said Khabib would come back if it was worth it, but it was pretty lame after he had built it so much. That's what Dana White does, Dana White will, but you can tell even with an announcement, you can tell there was something he wasn't too hyped about. Most of the times especially on Instagram and shit, like he'll be hyped up, but you can tell for this announcement that he was like, ah. But then if everyone knew, like obviously he was just. It was kind of obvious, like, yeah, he's gonna come back if there's a decent fight, ahead, something that benefits him. Dana White lies. Don't sleep on Dustin. Stipe versus Francis too. I want to break this match down. Eventually later on with another live stream again. I'm trying to do as much live streams as I can. Just to get interactions from all you guys. I love talking to everyone about fights and stuff. I try to keep it respectful and stuff. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone likes Connor. Some people don't, but don't get in a fight and stuff and argue and stuff like that. I think it's kind of pointless. Everyone has their own opinion, and I mean, you can like whoever you like, but at the same time, interact, leave comments. I'll read your comments. We can talk about it. That's what makes the live stream fun. This what I enjoy is talking to you guys and stuff like that. So, and remember, ask questions but I think Stipe versus Francis might be a different fight. Max Mayweather. Dustin's getting KO'd simple. So Tracy is on board with Connor beating Dustin. Yeah, but not stuck as long as last time. All right, we got. All right, the superstar UFC. Do you think Khabib versus Oliveira would even do 20K pay-per-view buys? Khabib's last fight, which was so much hyped and still did not get 500K buy. Khabib's fans just watch his fights on crack streams, or it just really depends. It's kind of hard. Not that Khabib doesn't sell, but again, Khabib is not that. A lot of people want to see kind of like a Kobe or like a Conor McGregor, loudmouth, obnoxious. So I think that's why his fights don't sell as well. He might do a little bit better coming back from retirement. Apparently, that's like the thing to do is like come back from retirement and then try to fight. He might get some um coming back, but at the same time, um I don't know. I don't think it'll sell 200. I don't think it'll do that. Let's see. Says nope. Tracy says nope. The Rise fight was crazy. They lost that thing for over 5 minutes. Khabib versus Oliveira, if it happens, should rather air on YouTube TV. Who buys a pay-per-view that headlines two people who sniff for 25 minutes straight? Come on, Danny, he can do better. Hey, man, some people like the sniffing, man. Some people like the sniffing. Remember that it's an MMA match. You know, wrestling's part of it. If you can't defend the takedown and you can't do shit on the ground and the guy mauls you and you can't get out and you can't get up, then you know what? You didn't train hard enough and you didn't train better. So again, it's not the most exciting style to win, which I understand. A lot of people like just see knockouts, but at the same time, if you don't want the guy to do it to you, then train better and learn how to defend it. Let's see. Emma said she's still crying about. How do you pronounce his name? I still don't know it. Ponzimbio, but I don't really care for him because he got knocked to another dimension. Let's see. Sarah wants to know, how did the stream go earlier? Did you end up having guests? I did have one guest come on. It was my friend Steve Orozco. So if you don't know who Steve is, he was on Cage Talk a long time ago, not on my new channel, but on my old channel. And what happened with him, he actually owns an MMA organization called Smash Global. It's based off LA. It's really cool. He has his own fighters and stuff like that. It's obviously it's a smaller organization, but the thing with him is that he had some really, really cool guests on, as he almost like did like a Hall of Fame. Every time he would have an event, he would have one special guest. So the first person was like Ken Shamrock. The second person was Chuck Liddell. And it's cool because it's a small venue, like 300 people. But his thing was like how boxing is, how, boxing back in the day, people would wear tuxedos and dresses and suits, and they would go watch the boxing match. Well, he did that with MMA. It's almost like a private section, a private party. It's an open bar. You pay I think it's like $600 a ticket, but at the same time, you get all these famous people with you. It's almost like a meet and greet, open bar, and you get to watch a fight in a really, really nice venue. And again, it's a small little venue that holds like 300 people. So it's almost like you're networking as well, because you have all these business people and stuff like that. So his idea is really, really cool. And if you haven't looked him up, look him up. The organization is called Smash Global. I think he has like 4 or 5 divisions. And a couple of his champions actually went to the UFC. That obviously the UFC kind of bought the fighters, but it's pretty cool. With drama, yeah, the loss was rough. Save the drama for your mom. Exactly. Let's see. Oh shit. I'm sorry if I'm trying to get to your comments, guys. Don't worry. Yeah, he looked rusty. That was a big upset. Khabib was a whole different market in the world. Good win for Carlos, but Matt won the first round. Yeah, but it's not how you start; it's how you finish. Matt gasped out. Matt Brown looked gassed in the second round. The first round he applied pressure to Carlos, and I thought if he could have stuck to that game plan, he would have won. But he seemed like he ran out of gas in the tank, and then Carlos kind of put it on him and stuff like that. So It was a good fight for both of them. I don't. It's kind of like I don't know. Yep, no drama. Save it for your mom. Steve, good guy. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. Again, if you guys haven't looked at it, he's great one to have. Bummed I missed it. Did you save that stream? Yeah, so all the streams I do, they'll eventually save, and what happens is you can look them up. If you go to Cage Talk with Alex, you just put videos and put like past streams. You'll show it, and then if not, if you wait a couple days, I don't know how it works on YouTube, but maybe like 1 or 2 days after that, it'll come up on like a regular video feed that you could see. So, but again, it was like 2 hours long though, so I don't know if you really want to see that. On YouTube, Sarah, I love that. I love the idea of that. Would love to go once. It sounds like a blast. Yeah, I mean, I told him once. Unfortunately, he was talking about how like he would have to pay for all these people to do COVID tests, and each of the COVID tests is $150 per person. And then if you think about it, you have the fight camp, then you have the people, you have the like I mean everyone who's part of the organization doing it, and that's costly, and for him, he wouldn't be making money. He would probably be losing it. So I told him the minute that it he gets it going again, that definitely I would love to fly to LA, and hell yeah, I would wear a suit and shit because that's pretty cool. I think that's really cool, just wearing a suit and going out looking fancy and stuff and watching an MMA fight. I think it's a different style that I like that he brought. He's a genius. Thanks. All right. So Pamela wants to know, what did y'all think about hearing and seeing a crowd again? Thank God there weren't whooping. It wasn't bad. Again, like I was telling Steve, I'm like, well, they have in the NFL, they have a crowd. They just spread it out. I just don't know why they didn't do it earlier. I guess they were just trying to test it out and stuff. I know they're very, very strict on Fight Island before they get there. I know before they get there, they quarantine, because I remember talking to John Anik. So they quarantine in Vegas and they take a test. Once they're negative, they fly. Once they get there, they have to take another test, and then they have to be in their hotel room for, I forgot how many hours and stuff. I think it's like a day or two. But once they get that pass, they get a little wristband, and then they're allowed to walk the premise of the hotel. But again, it was nice to see somewhat of a crowd, you know. Eventually, hopefully, they'll start letting people back in where we could actually go to seeing the fights again live, because I would love to see a fight live again. It's been a while. Let's see. Fans is awesome. Seen a boxing match last week. Texas looked normal. Sarah says it wasn't bad, to be honest. I forgot about it at first until Brandon pointed it out to me. I've decided, unless I'm the one in the crowd, I'd rather not hear it. All right. I did have a feel of normalcy to it. I mean, it did feel, it really did feel. It felt nice to see some sort of crowd, and you can tell even with the fighters and stuff when they would react and stuff. I mean, people were climbing on the cage and celebrating. You haven't seen that shit in a while, because you're gonna look like a moron going outside and celebrating to an empty crowd. So it was nice. Pamela misses the live fights. Roundtable Sports Network says good TV. It was, again, it was a very, for the first event on ABC, I think it was a very successful one. I think they had some good battles, they had some good fights, and I believe it. I was wondering, I was asking Steve, of how many fights they actually have in the contract for ABC. I would actually like to know that. But if anyone knows, you know, be sure to let me know. But I would really, really like to know um, the contract and what it was actually how many fights do they have in total with that. Hold on. So the question I have for you guys was, what fight excited you the most? What was one of the fights on the card that you liked the most? Again, I was uh 10 people like smash the likes. Again, I think the most important fight, or the one that I wanted to see the most, was again uh was Matt Brown and Carlos Khan, and just because I like both of them. Um, Again, I wanted to see uh Max Holloway's fight, but for some reason I wanted to see the co-main event more. But as the night continued and the co-main event happened and the main event started, I kind of switched where I was really really enjoying it. And Steve called it. My buddy was on, and he's like, "This is gonna be." It's gonna go all 5 rounds, and it's gonna be a boxing match with UFC gloves. And he was correct, but he just didn't pick the right person. You know, let's see. Roundtable Sport Network. It can't be short of 20. That's 10% of last year's total, unless Dana really screwed us into being boxing fans. Let's see. Carlos should have called out Nick Diaz. Max and Calvin, hard to root for one. And that's one of those fights, like I was saying, that's one of the fights that's it kind of sucks because if you think about it, like I like Calvin and I also like Max, and then you see those two fighters happen, and like I know everyone. I mean, I've talked to this before in the other streams and stuff. Everyone knows. Back in the day when Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell had their trilogy fight, it sucked because I was a fan of both of them at the same time, and you don't want to see neither of them lose because you like them. It's like having two of your best friends fight, you know. So Prince T says MMA fans are complaining a lot about stoppages these days. Spencer Fisher, the retired MMA fighter, was permanently disabled because of a brutal fight career. He is just 44. People should know. Exactly. I actually talked about this earlier in the stream, Prince, about Spencer Fisher. Again, someone asked, or I think it was you. Did you ask about the damage Calvin took? And I was saying that that's the type of damage that's almost gonna affect you like Spencer Fisher did. And if no one's seen a Spencer Fisher fight, just watch Spencer Fisher versus Sam Stout 1, 2, and 3. If you watch that trilogy, I mean they beat the living shit out of each other all 3 fights, and they all went to distance. There was no stoppage. They were all decisions, but those are the ones that are the worst. Those 3 grueling rounds of just straight up, fist banging and stuff like that. So again, I love Spencer Fisher too. He was a great fighter and stuff. It was really really entertaining to watch, but then that comes with the price. Again, the beating Calvin took, you can't take too many of those fights. Again, like I said, they didn't stop it, but it went all 5 rounds, and all 5 rounds he was getting his ass whooped. So it's sad to see. Spencer Fisher was saying that he didn't even remember. Sometimes he forgets his kid's name. Sometimes it's hard for him to remember what he did the day before yesterday and stuff like that. So unfortunately, yeah, I think people need to realize this, and especially MMA fans who complain about the early stoppages. These people still, they still have lives and they have careers and they have families and stuff. So just because you want to see them, get knocked out brutally or get, hit more, like it shouldn't be like that. So, Max and Calvin was something really special, but I also like Jason Kilburn and Austin Lingo. Love that fight. It was perfect to open the card. Were those the two fat heavyweights? Were those the guys? I mean I was at work, so I know everyone kept on they kept on saying it, but I don't know. Were those the two fat heavyweights that were just throwing? Apparently, they were throwing. It was a really good match. I didn't get to see it because I was at work still, but I agree. Everyone should know. Herbie knows. Pamela says Dana said the fight should have been stopped in the fourth and told his corner to send him to the hospital immediately. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, that fourth round was brutal. I mean, he was opening up with some nasty elbows and just nasty combination. Uh, in the moment, sometimes it seems early, but in reality, it's always better to be safe. We don't see the same angles and things that the refs do. They're the professionals. Yeah, it's true. And if you watch that fight again, Herb Dean was very close to stopping it. He kept on saying it was almost like he was kept on saying, "Hey, fight back, fight back." I mean, he would throw some fight. I mean, some shots after too, but at the same time, it was um, it was hard to watch sometimes because um, again, you never know. Like Sarah said, the ref is the closest one there. They're the ones that usually know when to pull and when not to the post. So let's see. I have a lot of punch drunk friends from Boston. Well, two heavyweights went at it. Those are the ones? What's up? How you doing? Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome to the show. Remember, just if you guys haven't done it, please let everyone know on Twitter or text your friends or anything just to tell them to come on in. I mean, the more the merrier. I love talking to people. I love interacting. It's a really good, got a good show, good group, and talking and stuff just about the fight today. Again, the fights were amazing. I think everyone liked it, and I think one of the reasons why was just because there weren't any fights. And it was a nice change. It was finally, it was I was really really excited. Been waiting for a lot of fights, and I think we have like tell your grandma is also that. Trust Herb Dean, right? Dan Hardy doesn't. That was the one thing I think I disagree. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant again. But that was the one thing I didn't agree. Like I didn't like. Fuck, it was the commentating group was awesome. You had Daniel Cormier, you had John Anik, and then you had Dan Hardy and his dumbass accent, his dumbass looking hair. Like, what the hell is he doing with his hair? Like his face, I just want to punch it. I had to mute it. I lowered it on the TV over here, but you could still. I don't know how. Like I had it the volume on like 3 or 4, and for some goddamn reason, uh, I got Dan Hardy. I can still hear him, and I had that shit like on like 3 or 4. So like it was unbelievable. All right. We love these podcasts being non-biased. Do you not think Connor deserves more respect? Wow, Sarah, we might not be friends. I might even kick you off. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped, but obsessed with what? His fucking hairstyle? He's obnoxious as hell. He's biased as shit. That's the worst part. Like he puts his input. Like yeah, he knows the game, but he's still. Ugh. Sorry. I usually always I end up always going on a kind of like a Dan Hardy rant because I don't like him. But um, do you not think Connor deserves more respect from me? Like me? I mean, I don't think Connor gives a shit what I think. I'm not nobody, but I don't know if that's the question you're asking. Do you think? I mean, Pamela, I don't really care too much about Connor. Again, Um, I think he's a little bit overrated, but at the same time, he has a really good stand up. He has this kind of like this aura to him. He's very confident, but at the same time, he has no ground game. I think if he fights Khabib again, um, he'll end up getting mauled again. Let's see. I have an open, punchable face. Let's poo poo on some old media now. I know, right? Pamela doesn't want to talk about Connor anymore. Why are these corners so indecisive to throw the towel or stop fights when their fighters are in tense trouble? I feel so bad for. Again, it's a bond, man. I mean, uh, if you ever been in a corner, or if you ever, were in competition before, I mean, they're like family. They know exactly what's going on, and they talk to the fighters. But at the same time, um, we don't know what's going on. They know their fighters. They know who when's give or go. Again, we just see from the outside looking in. I mean, it looked bad, but at the same time, um, we could say so much. But let's wicked bias hard. Scores horses legs up sore losers. You think Connor's overrated? Wow. Yeah. But again, it's my opinion. I mean, if you like Connor, that's cool. I mean, I have no problem with that, but I just don't care for him. The biggest star in UFC. I agree with you that he is overrated, Connor. All right. In a bum fight, I take Max over Connor 100 times out of 10. So back to the fight. Um, so back to the fight. What was the fight that you were looking for the most, and did it live up to expectations? Again, my whole thing was the Carlos fight with Matt Brown, but at the same time, um, Max Holloway. I didn't see any of the prelims. Were the prelims any good? I didn't get to watch that again because it started at 11 o'clock and I was still at work. But what would you kind of rate this UFC event? I mean, I think it was pretty good for what it was. I mean, it's the first fight card of the year, and let's see. Says the prelim. So she's saying the prelims were awesome. Again, unfortunately, maybe I have to go back and watch them. I didn't get a chance to watch them. Showtime Pettis corner knows their fighters. So again, I didn't see the prelims. So was it the first fight? Was it the first fight of the prelims, or was it the first fight of the main card? Because again, are these the fat heavyweight guys that were going at it? I just don't know. It says the main card was fantastic. He says awesome fight of the year for Max versus Calvin. Those prelims. Okay. I would have given a solid 6, but Max and Kelvin changed that. They weren't fat. So you know which one I'm talking about? There's these two fat heavyweights that were going at it that people were talking about. He says the prelims are worth watching. Says Nick threw the towel when Nate fought Thompson. All right. That's a little bit different. That's he was your brother, so I kind of understand that. The superstar UFC said, "What is your reaction to Khabib and GSP not interested in fighting each other anymore?" Um, it's kind of washed up. It's already. I mean, GSP doesn't have anything to prove anymore. After he came back and beat Bisping, I mean, won the middleweight title. He has nothing to prove. I mean, his legacy is sealed, regardless. And I'm okay with it. I mean, it was past long due. It's like if anyone watches wrestling, I mean, that's like Sting and the Undertaker. Everybody wanted to see them wrestle, and now if you bring up Sting versus Undertaker, probably no one wants to watch it because it's two old geezers. Not saying that Khabib is older, GSP, but just I'm saying like an example of like nobody wants to watch that anymore. It's kind of it's old news. There's other fights that are pretty exciting that would be good. Let's see. Um, yeah, the heavyweight fight. Edward was amazing. I was totally surprised by her. I didn't get to watch that fight. Any Stephen Struve type guys, I will watch. Other than that, I'll see the next man up. Edwards was fun to watch. He will go far in the UFC. Carlos Felipe and Justin Tafa are the heavyweight. So those were the two fat guys, right? The overweight heavyweights went at it. They did. I mean, their titties jiggled and shit, but hey, you gotta respect it. They went into the cage and they left it all on the line. So good for them. In other news, so since I have you guys, this is like the special like bulletin. Like when you guys are on live, I don't really post on Twitter about Cage Talk, but since you're here and you're live and we're talking and you're hanging out, I feel like, excuse me, I just had steak. You guys deserve to hear the news first, even though I'm kind of spoiling it, but fuck it, why not? So I've talked to one fighter. He's an OG. He fought in like back in the day, like UFC like 8. Okay. And then tomorrow, I talked to Pamela about this. I actually am gonna meet Frank Mir, not on the show. He's actually having, it was random as hell. He has a meet and greet in in um in Irving, which is like about 25 minutes away from me. And basically I'm just gonna go over there, probably take a picture with Frank Mir, and then try to get him on the show because I've talked to him before, and then he got sick. I don't know if he got COVID, but he had like the flu and shit, and we were supposed to set something up, and I was really excited. This was the beginning of Cage Talk. This is maybe like my fourth or fifth person I ever, fourth or fifth fighter into, and he ended up getting sick, and then he said, "Well, we can reschedule and stuff." But we never got back. Like I tried talking to him, but I think because his daughter's fighting and she's competing, I think he got wrapped up with that. But hopefully, I could talk to him tomorrow and see if he'll join the show. But that's not the person I was talking about. The person I was talking about, someone put Don Fry. That would be kind of dope, but no, I didn't get to talk to him. He was in K1. He had one of the fights was really, really cool. He actually did a crucifix and elbowed the shit out of him. If you guys know who I'm talking about, I'll give you guys a guess. He did K1. He was in UFC, but he was in like the very, very, very beginning. All right. Nothing, no guesses, no guess. I mean, I didn't really give you guys much to go off. I mean, sorry, but the person I have, hopefully it'll go through because he didn't even have Zoom. I was like kind of it's kind of funny. He's old school. Yeah, good ideas. This is a good network chat. So is Gary Goodridge. If you guys don't know who Gary Goodridge is, look him up. He did K1. He was in the very beginning of UFC. He was part of the Mark Mark Coleman was part of that group. Mark Coleman, Guy Mesger. Yep. So Roundtable knows. Yeah, Big Daddy. So hopefully this Thursday I get to interview him. I talked to him a little bit today. But really excited. Really cool OG guy. So hopefully I can get him on as well. And let me get back to the comments. All right. Do you think Khabib would be brave enough to step up to his true weight and fight Usman? I don't know. I wouldn't want to see that fight, but I don't know. Maybe. The heavyweights were insane, like two bears fighting over a. It was great. If so, who do you think would win? I don't know. That one's kind of difficult. I think Usman is a bigger person, but I think Khabib is just better on the ground. That's so cool. This is what's up. This is good ideas. Yeah, Big Daddy Gary is cool. He's so nice. I like his random. He does. He has a lot of. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter, he does have a lot of inspirational shit. I do like that. But so that's. I love all yours too, Pam. Yeah, I'm not very inspirational, so I have nothing for that. But yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Again, I have the Houston Alexander video that's gonna post this Thursday. If you haven't seen the Burt Watson video, please do. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Please share this. Let everyone know. The bigger audience, the better the discussions, the more interaction. It's always fun, and I do enjoy talking to you guys. The deal is done. Let's see. Let's see. The deal is done, ready without being signed. And if you're in good vibes. I'm talking about when Pam tweets inspirational things. Haha. Yeah. I'm gonna start doing that too now. But yeah, so if there's anything else that you guys, any suggestions for the channel that might be that might help me, maybe like interview wise or just in general. Again, I'm not gonna do these live things like every single day, but it is a nice little refresher, just to talk to you guys about fights, because again, I love watching fights and yeah, so Big Daddy Goodridge, yeah, he is a legend. He's a stud. But at the same time, if there's anything you guys want to talk about or anything that I could do to make the channel better, I'm always up for constructive criticism. Same thing for my interviews and stuff. I mean, if you're like, yo, you're boring as shit, this and that, I mean, my feelings, I have thick skin. It's not a big deal. But again, so I have some big guests coming on. Hopefully tomorrow will be good with Frank Mir, and then later down the week with Gary Goodridge. Have a couple other fighters that I'm talking to as well, but I'm not going to mention that. I already kind of said enough on the show already, but yeah, just remember to kind of retweet and share the show again. Like I said, the more people you get. So if you know people that are big MMA fans, tell them to try to join the show. Can you have people call in with comments? No, what I could do, I could eventually, I could put the stream, the link, and then you can join me live, like on the video, and you can talk on the video with me. The Bandit Line, not sure who you all are, but seem cool. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I mean, Roundtable Sports. I mean, hopefully you join us for a couple more uh, live streams. Again, we're getting uh, some regulars in here that they're respectful, and we do like to talk fights and fighters and stuff like that. And again, it's just growing, and it's all about friendship and making friends and just hanging out. Again, like I said, this is just a hangout, nothing too crazy, and hopefully you guys like hearing me what is this, talking shit. So again, I do appreciate you guys coming on. I usually try to keep it within an hour, as we're rolling into an hour and 26, 27 minutes. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoy the fights. When's the next? I think the next fight is in a couple days. And you have, is that I think it's the Michael. Is it the Michael Chiesa fight? Yeah, the fight night. Neil Magny. That should be a good fight. That should be a really good fight. Co-main event kind of sucks, but and Roxanne's fighting. That should be good. Look, there you go. You just got Pamela. If you know what, if she follows you, then you're good to go. You don't need anyone else following you. That's all you need. You need Sin City Sarah to follow you, and you need Pamela to follow you, and you're set on Twitter. You're the coolest person on Twitter. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being dead ass. They're really, really cool. And Sarah's excited that the fights are back on. It is. It's a nice little refresher. It's been too long without the fights and stuff like that. So again, just want to say thank you. If anyone hasn't hit the like button, please hit the like button. I don't know what it does. I really don't. But apparently people like to hit the like button. So hit the like button. And again, I do appreciate it. I will try to kind of let you guys know a little bit further out when I'm going to do a live stream and not do it like randomly. Like I did one today, then I did one again. So sorry about that. I probably will go live maybe. I probably will. What's up, Oreo Cookie? I think you were on I think Sarah's live feed, but thank you for following. I've been hitting. Yeah, so free tickets. JLP. I don't know. But again, so I'll probably go live for that. And then again, for the live, I'll try to have maybe one or two fighters come on, do their predictions. I know I talked to Cole Miller. I don't know if anyone knows who Cole Miller is. He fought back in, I think he was in Ultimate Fighter Season 4. So I talked to Cole Miller. He was supposed to join me, but he had to attend a friend's funeral, unfortunately. So, but then he's always, I've talked to him a lot. So he might be the next person to come on the live stream and talk a little bit about the fights and maybe give his predictions and maybe the same thing, like kind of like what Steve did with me, kind of, just talk. And it's really cool to have a professional fighter come and talk about the fight as it's happening and give his insight on what's happening or his opinion on stuff like that. So so maybe the next time we'll do it, or maybe I'll set it up. Will be Cole Miller live with me, just talking about the fights. Again, I have Jose Torres, where I talk to a quiet. Who'd you meet at the bar? Sarah? Who'd you meet at the bar? No. Unless you're talking about Cole Miller. But yeah, so again, so just keep that in mind that I'll try to have fighters pop in the live stream so that you guys can interact with the fighters as well, which I think will be really, really cool. And you can always ask them questions about the fight or something about themselves, just to to get to know the fighters a lot and stuff like that. Again, I do talk to quite a few that are kind of already. I built a good relationship, so I know I could get easily. I could get like 3 or 4 fighters to come on, but I would just like to do kind of like one fighter every live stream, just because I think it would be um, a lot easier, not just have all of them show up at once. Because again, like I said, like with Steve and stuff, it was good just because it was just me and him chit chatting, but we're also talking about the fight, and he was talking about like the ground control because that was his thing. It was ground and pound. That's what he liked to do when he fought. So it was just a good insight on a former fighter. So. But with Cole Miller, it would be kind of cool, especially with his ground game, because he's on point with his ground game. So, but again, that's the future of Cage Talk. Obviously, I'll still have the Cage Talk fight interviews every Thursday, so don't miss it. If you don't know, hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell so you have notifications, so I don't have to harass you on Twitter. So you already know every Thursday I will drop a Cage Talk interview. It might be a Bellator fighter, it might be a UFC fighter, it might be a retired UFC. It sounded like I said retired. Retired UFC fighter. It might be up and coming fighters. I know I have a couple of people that are like amateur boxers and stuff like that. So there's always something going to be going on in the channel. And again, it's to just so if you don't know the fighter, you get to know him through the interviews. I hope I do the best I can in the interviews to get as much information or the most interesting information out there for you guys, so you guys can enjoy that. I do have fun talking to these fighters and stuff like that. Most of them are pretty cool, and most of them you'll be surprised of how many are so willing to just give me their numbers and stuff, and I still talk to them. So it's cool, and you kind of build a relationship like that. But the time is 9:45 here. I have to wake up at 2 a.m. to go to work. Okay, it's been an hour and 7 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream again. Thank you for participating. It's better when you have people talking and interacting and stuff like that, and it's always a blast. And I always I want to say thank you guys for coming on, and we'll do this again some other time. If you don't have me, look me up on Twitter, Cage Talk 5. I usually post the link when I tweet. You can click the link, or I can harass you, whatever you like. But again, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe, and till next time. All right, guys. So peace.